Oh, thank you, doll. Thank you.
Serio? Senti.
I love this.
Esatto. No, è lui che si vede. Auguri. Oh, no. Dice.
He's number one.
Your biggest.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program is about to begin.
My name is Amy Viola. You're much more effective than I am. Thank you. And it's a pleasure and an honor for me to be here tonight. Seeing so many members of the Italian American, and the global community. It's amazing all of the things that we can do together. As we're here tonight, we're not only creating cultural bridges, but we're also raising awareness and funds for a very important cause. When Dottoressa Chiancone first mentioned this event to me, I was extremely inspired and intrigued and honored to be able to do this, because what she and her colleagues are doing is not only raising awareness, but also finding a creative solution to a problem that plagues us all by promoting sentimental education in schools. And as someone who spends a lot of time cooking and engaging in other creative activities with children, I can attest that the more we engage their emotions, the more we'll be able to understand them, and the more that we'll be able to guarantee a better future for all of them. In the 6th century before the Common Era, the Greek philosopher Pythagoras founded a school in the southern Italian town of Crotone. There, even in antiquity, he welcomed women into his school. And he taught not only mathematics, which we know him for, but also nutrition and music and philosophy. And Pythagoras had a saying. He said, if we educate the children, it won't be necessary to punish the men. And there is a more modern Italian aphorism which says, educa un uomo ed avrai educato una persona. Educa una donna ed avrai educato una comunità. Which means, educate a man and you'll have educated a person. But educate a woman and you'll have educated a community. And in a recent CNN study, it was found that parents worldwide and in America agreed that the #1 resource to helping children get ahead is their education. But education doesn't only encompass scholastic and job skills. Education also is meant to ensure a healthy emotional state of our children, which is exactly why tonight's topic is so relevant. So on that note, I'd like to introduce our distinguished panel of guests. And the very first person is our hostess, Minister Counselor Catherine Flumiani, who is an amazing pillar to the Italian community. She's been here, as many of you know, for, yes, such a short time, but she's everywhere. And she has made a huge impact, so it's an honor for me to present her to you tonight.
Thank you, Amy. It's a delight to be introduced by you. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes, that's great, because I think really we need 5 minutes of attention, because because we're going to speak about these very important topics. And first of all, let's be honest, first of all, to the ladies. Buonasera, benvenuti all'Ambasciata d'Italia. I am delighted to welcome you here today on behalf of Ambassador Barricchio and Mrs. Michela Barricchio for what is a very special day indeed, on the occasion of Women's International Day, which we celebrated on March 8th. Some of you may not be aware that in Italy, Women's Day is celebrated with mimosas, the flower, which is not only a cocktail, but it are flowers, wonderful bright yellow flowers. And they grow on sturdy trees. They are very delicate flowers on sturdy trees. And what best can symbolize the sensitivity and strength of us women as a mimosa flower? We are very pleased to offer our beautiful Piazza Italia to the Dive Association, donne italiane che vivono all'estero, for their fundraising gala for two associations committed to the sentimental education of school-age youth in Italy and the United States. Thank you, Dive, and thank you, President Antonella Chiancone, and all your team for having involved us in this most worthy project. Tonight, we are very privileged to have with us a local association, DC Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And, an association, Italian association, based in Milan, called Genitori e Figli Educational. Together, they have created an ideal bridge between the United States and Italy, as they are fully aware of the shared challenge our society faces to protect our youth, as well as the most vulnerable members of families. The Italian Parliament has long been committed to strengthening the legislative framework to combat gender violence. Make a short reference of our 2013 law on feminicide, as we call it, which has strengthened sanctions to prevent and protect the victims of three crime categories: sexual violence, ill treatment, and stalking. Although much gender violence happens within the family, it is also true that it is within families and school institutions that the culture of love and respect is built. And this is why it is best to educate new generations to an harmonious, balanced love life. I am certain that the commitment of organizations such as these we are proud to host tonight, and that of the many selfless volunteers involved both in DC and Italy, play a key role in this. Before concluding, let me note that I don't think a better word could have been chosen for tonight's gala: tenderness. One of those very intriguing English words, which on one hand means soreness and perhaps even bruising, and on the other, kindness, gentleness, and warmth. I don't need to add anything to this. My friends, amiche mie, buona serata, and the best of success to this worthy initiative. Grazie.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for those beautiful and inspiring words. And now we're going to hear from Dr. Antonella Chiancone, who is not only the president of the DIVE, but she's also a medical doctor who's board certified in the United States and in Europe. She has a specialty in radiology and nuclear medicine, and she has done many amazing things to get this event started this evening.
The greatest love is happening to me.
Thank you. So I'm going to just say that I won't say a word without my board. Please, I would like to have all the components of the board with me before we start. And, okay. So, first of all, good evening, of course. Welcome everybody. Excuse me, I will read part of my speech because I am a little bit emotional. I hope you forgive me for that, okay? So again, thank you for coming so numerous to support us and to support this worthy cause. I want to thank once again the Embassy of Italy for offering us such an impressive background for this event. And please join us thanking our great sponsors, with whom you will become immediately familiar with just watching the video on my back. So thank you to all the sponsors, to the generosity of which we have, you know, without them, nothing would have been possible. Okay, so I will be very brief. I just want to say, thank God the microphone is not working, so I can say it very quickly. Okay, go. Okay, Tenderness has been pictured by Ledive in keeping with our association statute, which demands the conservation of Italian language and culture while integrating with our great host country, the United States of America. Now, for the second year in a row, we celebrate the International Women's Month in this wonderful location, which symbolizes home for all of us, the Italians. And thank you again to especially Minister Flumiani for making all this possible. Thanks again. Now, last year we talked about the importance of preserving and transmitting to the offspring the mother tongue, especially when we live outside of the motherland. And we call the mother tongue the language of emotion. In keeping with the language of emotion, we will define today the management of emotion. And we want to talk about, again, emotions, understanding of emotions, and teaching of sentiments. Now, you may say at this point, are we here to talk about the fight against domestic violence? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Exactly here, this reason. Unfortunately, domestic violence is a pernicious disease to be fought. And unfortunately, it's a disease that not only affects the entire world, but is becoming epidemic. Now, together with other symptoms of general malaise, such as sexual harassment or bullying, domestic violence is tied to a common cause, which is social disarray, basically. And I think we all agree on that. As a physician, I know that family being the stem cell of the society, intervention on it, on the stem cell, on the family, at the earliest stage of the disease, is the only possible effective therapy. There is no other way than prevention. When the family suffers, and here we have several, even psychiatrists, psychologists, I see many in the audience, so we all know that when the family suffers, children develop personal non-acceptance and a feeling of inadequacy. Forgive me for my pronunciation, some of the words are particularly difficult to pronounce. And this bad feeling, eventually, they will try to overcome it through violence on others. Raising a new generation of women at peace with themselves and in harmony with their emotions and with their sentiments is that a priority for the well-being of the entire mankind. I'm about to conclude with my speech, just a few more sentences. Where and when family, for whatever reason, is incapable to provide children with the tools for them to get in touch with the best part of them. Because this is all about, we're talking. Then we think that the school is certainly a prominent, probably the most prominent possible surrogate to foster sweetness and loving interaction. Today we want to support two associations, one from Italy and one from the United States, with the seed money that, thanks to your generosity, we are raising, with the seed money to promote education of love and tolerance in primary schools. As Italians living abroad, we hope to have fulfilled our role of ambassadors, bridging our two countries. And following me, the two extremities of this bridge that we hope we have built tonight, they will be introducing themselves to you in a second. Now, may the seed we planted today produce our field, and thank you very much for your generosity. Thank you.
The next amazing person, which I have the opportunity to introduce everyone to, just arrived from Milan, it's Dr. Gilda Cowley. And Dr. Cowley practices at the San Paolo Hospital in Milan. She has a PhD in philosophy. She's also a medical doctor who's board certified in the United States and in Italy. And she is the creator of the Genitori Figli, which means parents and children educational in Milan. And she's created a wonderful model that we can use the world over in order to teach sentimental education in schools. So, so we're going to start, before she speaks, we have actually a little video which has English subtitles, which we'll show, and then Dr. Cowley will speak to us.
Io ormai lavoro da quasi 28 anni e ho iniziato la mia carriera come psichiatra occupandomi principalmente della genetica psichiatrica.
So she has 28 years of experience working as a psychiatrist and a great deal of experience working as a child psychiatrist as well.
Nei primi anni 90 c'era una grande euforia. Si pensava che attraverso lo studio dei geni e la scoperta del loro funzionamento si potesse individuare appunto un gene responsabile o più geni responsabili per poter poi curare le malattie psichiatriche e i disturbi dei bambini. In realtà dopo tanti anni di studi si iniziò a capire che non esisteva un gene, che le malattie di questo tipo, quindi psicologiche, affettive e cognitive, sono poligeniche multifattoriali e quindi lo studio si spostò non solo alla genetica, che rimase un po' a latere, ma ci si concentrò sull'ambiente.
The environmental influences which were causing them.
Brevemente iniziai la mia attività clinica molto intensa anche nelle periferie dove era possibile vedere una grande popolazione diversificata.
So she started her practice even working in the suburbs of Milan because there she was able to see a very diverse population that had a lot of different issues affecting them.
Iniziai a seguire e a curare molte donne, molti uomini e mi accorsi che tutte queste persone avevano un malessere iniziato sin dai primi anni di vita.
So she saw children and women and men, and she noticed that everything that was affecting them began to affect them very early on in their lives.
Infatti i primi 3 anni fino ai primi 7 anni di vita sono quelli che decideranno la capacità, la consapevolezza dell'individuo, dell'essere umano, la capacità di relazionarsi con gli altri, di provare sentimenti e di avere un buon equilibrio psicofisico.
So the psychological factors start and really come into play from the ages of 3 to 7. Everything that is determined then kind of tells us how a child will respond emotionally and socially.
Dunque, quindi la capacità dei bambini di adattarsi e la capacità dell'individuo di essere resiliente dipende dall'ambiente relazionale soprattutto che i bambini troveranno intorno a sé.
The ability of a child to be able to be successful and to be able to relate, to be resilient to different factors in their life, all has to do with the environment that they find around them.
In moltissime famiglie, sempre di più, ci sono dei disagi, sia la mamma che il papà spesso hanno delle difficoltà, magari sul lavoro, magari loro interpersonali, bisticciano perché la violenza domestica sono anche dei grandi bisticci tra i genitori e questo però, anche questo, traumatizza i bambini che iniziano a vivere in una situazione un po' disagiata.
She said even the disturbances in families and even the family disputes that might come as a result of not having work or typical daily stresses can have a huge impact on children and affect their mental stability.
La maggior parte dei disturbi diciamo della società attuale, quindi disturbi del comportamento, bullismo, anche l'autismo, disturbi psichiatrici, una grandissima parte dei disturbi comportamentali ed affettivi dipendono da come il bambino ha vissuto nei primi 7 anni di vita. Ecco perché è di fondamentale importanza aiutare la famiglia che chiede aiuto in questo momento e supportare il bambino parallelamente in un ambiente positivo che è la scuola.
So she says many of the illnesses we can see developing before 7 years, what makes people bully, what causes autism, what influences all of these different types of psychological disturbances. So it's very important to create a healthy atmosphere for the children and especially in the schools.
Quindi cerco di essere breve, ormai le neuroscienze e tutta la letteratura internazionale scientifica è d'accordo sulla necessità assoluta di iniziare un'opera di prevenzione nelle scuole.
So all of her work and all of her research and her initiatives go towards preventing all of these things from happening in schools.
Well, thank you. Feed them on your dreams. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you for having us. We are overjoyed to be here this evening and to be the benefactor of all your generosity and your tenderness. So I want to say thank you because your generosity tonight, your participation in this amazing event this evening is going to allow us to continue our curriculum for 6th to 8th graders in the District of Columbia. What we found is that 6th to 8th graders are actually in romantic relationships. And this is a really good time for us to go and start talking about what healthy relationships look like, how to build them, how to sustain them, and what are the red flags when looking for interpersonal, intimate violence early on so that when they become adults, they won't have to come see us, that they won't have to go through the court system, that they won't have to look for housing, that they won't have to figure out how they're going to support their children as well. So all participation and your generosity, your tenderness is greatly appreciated by the DC Coalition Against Domestic Violence. We're overwhelmed to be a bridge with our newfound friends at the Italian Embassy, and we look forward to a long relationship. Thank you.